Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh, backyard summer sessions.
Oh, so good.
We like our seltzers.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, welcome to the backyard. You know,
Mm-hmm.
our summer sessions.
Part 2.
Part 2, we decided to go without the fire pit this time because it kind of messed up the visuals, and we don't like that.
No.
Especially me. I get a little antsy about it. So, but you know what? Still the backyard. We got some nice misters. We got the ambiance.
The
We got
lighting.
the alcohol.
Yes.
We got the tea.
Yes. Oh, lots of tea.
Listen, so much. But first, we're going to start just kind of an overview. Jessica, how was your week?
It was very busy.
Ooh.
I had last Monday off, which never happens.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was nice. So Brandon and I went out Sunday night. We went to Fontainebleau.
Ooh.
Yeah.
First time?
It was my first time at Fontainebleau.
Okay.
I don't like Fontainebleau.
Oh, no, why?
I feel like, okay, so like walking into like even Encore, like with my like work clothes on,
Yeah.
like leggings and a tank top, I didn't feel intimidated or anything like
Okay.
that. I got all dressed up and fancy for Fontainebleau, and I still felt like a peasant.
Really?
I was like, this isn't, I don't feel,
That's very Calathea.
it's a very Calathea forward place.
Interesting.
And then, but however, a fight did break out yesterday in the casino. Like, yeah, there was a video. Brandon sent me a video of it, and I was like, here I am, like, too worried that I'm like,
I wasn't
too poor.
dressed up enough. It was
Yeah.
tacky.
But we went to this one lounge, and like, Brandon went up to the hostess and asked for like if there was a table available. Yeah. And okay, this is Sunday night at 11 o'clock. Sunday night at 11 o'clock, right?
Yeah, no one's there. It's okay.
Well,
or it's getting...
It was busy, but like...
Not crazy.
No.
Yeah.
So, Brandon had friends in the band. It was like one of those like big bands from like the 50s.
Ooh,
so, like, yeah,
fun.
It very much like took you back in time.
Yeah.
And so they take us to our table, which was like off like this like side room, so we couldn't even see the band. We could like hear them, we couldn't even see them.
Oh.
But on our way to that table, Brandon saw some friends of his.
Oh.
So we were like, okay, maybe we could sit with them, and then we found another table that like opened up,
yeah,
close to the band. And so Brandon went over to the hostess, and she's like, oh, that table's reserved. And we're like, what?
For who?
Thank you. Like, but it was like we asked for like a few different tables, like
yeah.
other than where we were. No, those are reserved. Like, it's Sunday night at like who the fuck's is Tiger Woods walking in here?
Yeah, right.
Because like nobody reserved tables for Vince Vaughn, and we just partied. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? So then Brandon's friends invited us to sit with them. So we go and sit with them, and literally a hostess came over and told us we couldn't sit with them.
Were there not enough chairs?
There was so it was like it was a long booth. And 2 tables.
Okay.
So Mimi had actually gone, like when she like reserved that table. She said, we're gonna have more people. That's how it always goes.
Yeah.
With them. Like they start with a few, and then the party's gonna grow. So the party like grew. And we were told we couldn't sit with them because that second table was reserved, and I'm like, what the fuck? For who? By this time it's like 11:30, 11:45. They're done at like 12:30. So we're like, who cares?
You're gonna lose everybody in an hour and a half. Like, what's happening?
Yeah. So
how weird.
Yeah. So then Brandon's friend Mimi goes over to the manager, and like she just like laid it down, and they let us sit there, and then we were like, it's fine, we're like, we'll share this table, and then like other people can sit here, that's fine, but that's apparently like never happened before. And then like,
what do you mean it's never happened before?
Like they've never been treated like that before. Like Brandon's I thought never.
You meant no one's ever gone to another table to join them.
No,
and
it was so funny because then
an issue normally.
Because then like David Vincola came and sat down, and I was like, oh,
watch out, sir.
Watch out, they might make you move. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm here every week, and I sit wherever, and nobody bothers me.
Was it a new hostess or something, you think?
I think it was, because it's not like we weren't spending money.
I was about to say, if you're spending money, who all
got drink, yeah.
That's weird.
And we're all like dressed to the nines. Like Brandon was still like in a suit from like his gig before that. Like,
that is so weird.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it's odd when, because didn't the same thing happen to you at the Durango, kind of, sort of, in that one restaurant? Mm-hmm. It almost seems like it's kind of happening. And like, listen, like, too many things are closing for that.
But that was a bar top.
That's so
the bar is first come, first serve. Except for like...
Did the waiters care at all? It was just the hostess.
The hostess was the only one that cared. We just, like, they put us in this room.
No.
The hostess put us in this room. And we're like, at least Brandon didn't just go and seat himself. He stopped at the host stand.
How old was the hostess?
I don't know. She was young, I guess. I'm not really sure, but
I wasn't sure.
I couldn't believe it. So
that is the weirdest thing. How, like, have you heard anything about the Fontainebleau service? Because, like, I haven't heard anything.
I don't know, but like,
I feel like if it was that bad all the time, we would hear.
There's a bar that I do want to go to, like right when you walk in from the parking garage, like they're like regular, like little like lounge.
Yeah.
I was like, we walked by and I was like, oh, that's cute. The thing is, like, when you walk into Fontainebleau, it's just big, right?
Oh.
And then there's like this center area where there's like a plant of some sort.
Nice.
And then like escalators. And then Brandon's like, see far off in the distance? That's the casino floor. I was like,
okay.
But when you walk into like any other casino, like you walk right into the casino floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like this big like foyer.
Huh. I'm gonna have to go now. Now I'm curious.
It was so like
I should dress like a hillbilly too.
First of all, like Brandon was like, "Do you want to meet me there?" And I was like, "No."
I would like you to drive, sir.
I like the amount of anxiety. Like going into Circa is easy for me because it was like when it first opened, I didn't feel any kind of anxiety because I was like, it's on Fremont. B, all of our friends work there.
Yeah.
So I like walked in and knew everybody immediately, so I was already home.
Yeah.
But like I don't know anyone in Fontainebleau. And so and it's very big and
parking's my thing. It's like if I don't know how to get to it,
parking
like
garage is weird.
Oh, is it?
Oh my god. It's so bizarre. Like so there's that. And I think you get like the first like 3 hours or something like that locals get parking. But yeah, it was very like intimidating and I was just like,
and no one else has experienced that so far.
Well, so I think I told Brandon, like when I was talking to Brandon about it, I was like, I don't feel okay. Like I don't feel right. Because I was already still heavy. Brandon still came to pick me up.
Yeah.
And we walked in there together, but I still felt like a level of anxiety or dread or something. Like I just was like, you
just knew it was going to be like something shitty was going to happen.
This is not my home. Like I feel better walking into I feel more comfortable walking into Encore.
Yeah.
And the Wynn. But like it just had like a vibe like that. It just hurt my feelings. and
darling, is my kind of place. I don't know if you know this.
Like I dare you to walk in. I dare Calethea.
Listen,
to just
darling, I made it to make sure you felt uncomfortable. I don't like people of your class in my area.
We should literally walk in there as Calethea and that one bar, like right, because it's that one bar. I was like, babe, we should. That's cute. Like I'm okay right there.
Be like, ma'am, can you move them? They look poor.
Really, that's honestly how I felt.
Oh no!
But like, and then I'm all dressed up, and then there are people like that. Then there are people dressed like completely in casual clothes. Like everyone, and
it feels like it's the old people casino. Like I know that sounds weird, but it feels like it's made for like I don't know, the old people. I don't know how to explain it because I don't really see anything like Gen Zers or like the 21-year-olds going to see it. So
it was cool being in a casino that was in ruin for 20 years. And we watched get in and out of
literally the Riviera just sat there and sat there and sat there.
Yeah, no, Fontainebleau just was like in ruin for 20 years, and so like and then so many deals were on and off, and then so I was kind of in that aspect on the way out, I was like, it's kind of like historic, you kind of watch this get built for 30 fucking years. So
that is so funny,
but it's still. I don't know. It's like the audacity.
I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, like the audacity that you showed up.
Like, bro, you're near the Strat. Shut the fuck up.
Well, that's funny you say that because like Mallory and I were talking about going to the Pepper Mill, and I was like, oh, we'll have to like hit some like places over there. In general, And I was like, oh, maybe I'll go into Fontainebleau. And it's funny that you had this experience. And then it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. How dare you? Like, you're across the street from the Strad, dude. Like, and Circus. How dare you?
Yeah.
So, and then Monday morning, we were going to go to the link pool, but it was it was like overcast.
Yeah.
So we were like, we also woke up super late. Oh, my dumbass decided, like, hey, let's watch The Omen. And that movie terrified me. So we were up really late because I was like, let's turn on Family Guy or something, or like, I'm gonna have nightmares.
I've been on a Family Guy kick too recently. It's kind of been, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Random.
And then Monday morning we went to Toasted Gastro Brunch.
Oh yeah, how's that?
So oh.
Right after too. It's so funny because she's like, dude, I had this awful experience at Fontainebleau. And then she's like, you will not fucking believe what happened. And I was like, oh.
So we go to Toasted Gastro Brunch. Service is always, it's amazing. Yeah. Like that place is my
Vegas
favorite.
Madness. That's why I was on there.
Why I was on there. It was my favorite brunch spot. I finally got the lobster toast.
Oh, how was it?
Oh God.
So worth it.
It was so good. Had my cucumber morning cocktail that I get, I guess, every time I'm there now, which is twice. That was twice. And then Brandon got the he got the short rib eggs Benedict.
Ooh.
Yeah. And he got like a orange cream mimosa, and I was like, babe, you know that I can make these at home, like right now. Like,
he's like, yeah, but we're here.
So then, here, like, they close at 2. We got there like 1 o'clock, and I felt like that asshole. I didn't want to be that asshole.
Yeah,
but it was fine.
Still an hour before.
And we also kind of had an idea. Like, I was kind of showing him the menu beforehand, so we knew what we wanted.
Yeah.
So it was all very quick. So we're probably mid-meal, and this couple walks in. They're trying to walk in like the wrong door, and nice. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, we're on the patio. We always sit on the patio because I always like to sit on the patio. And I was telling these people, I was like, no, like the entrance is over this way, and they just didn't understand. And I was like, whatever. Okay. By this time, it's like 1:30-ish.
Oh, so they're that asshole.
And then they ordered like a big meal.
Oh, they're definitely that asshole.
Right. Okay. So, Brandon and I like get our check, pay. We're like walking out the door. We're halfway to our car. And also, like that one couple we saw, like the lady go to the restaurant, and I think they were arguing.
Okay.
Like Brandon said that they were he heard them, like I heard them arguing, but Brandon could hear them say like, oh, I'm not paying the bill, or like they were just back and forth about it.
Oh.
So the lady goes to the restroom. And then we get up and mind our business, and just like we're walking to our car, and we're like halfway to our car, and all of a sudden like we see the guy. We're like, that's weird. They finished their meal. Like they got like, that was fast.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, we look back and we see our server Jackie Chan.
Oh no.
Over the railing.
No.
His name was Alan. His name was Alan. Props to Alan. But like literally like had his handheld and freaking like literally grabbed the railing, and like
he was like,
he was a fucking
people.
Gymnast, dude, like Spider-Man.
So funny.
And like jumped over this railing and ran over to the dude. Because I think he was also trying to pay a bill. Like we heard him like trying to pay his bills or whatnot while he was sitting there, and he was having a hard time paying his bills. Like I heard him talking. Like we could hear things because we were only 2 people on the patio.
Imagine talking about how you can't pay your bills and going out to breakfast.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And so he like got the guy to pay, and like Brandon and I looked back, and we were like, "Yeah, way to go, Alan! Like shout out to you, bro." But like,
that's funny.
Man, I'd never seen anybody dine and dash, so that was.
I've never seen it either. Yeah, I've never seen it. It's never crossed my mind. Like I've known a lot of shitty people in my life, like, but no one's ever done that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's so weird to me, but I wonder if they even got their food. Like
they did get their food.
They did. I don't know.
We saw it come out.
Okay.
If you go on the Toasted Gastro Brunch like Instagram, like you'll see like this like burrito thing, and it's like gigantic.
Is that what he ordered?
Yeah.
I wonder how much that is.
I don't know.
Get the most expensive thing
because my lobster toast I think was like $15, and I think Brandon's meal was about $18. So plus our cocktails. Honestly, so it was like $60 for.
We went to Denny's the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, it's the same price." as all these little places. We might as well just go here now.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, because it was funny because Brandon was like, well, Blueberry Hill is right there. And I was like, okay. And he's like, we can go somewhere fancy. And I was like,
I know where to go.
Hold my beer.
See, I would even choose Blueberry Hill over Denny's. If there was one close to here, I would choose it. But I live next to Water Street.
But Toasted has that experience.
Yeah, and I also live next to close to Water Street. So it's like, why not just go to Water Street?
I would have just gone to Water Street.
Yeah, even the little casinos have shit. Sunset Station probably has better breakfast, but oh well, live and learn. But
so you went to the beach.
I went to the beach. Vegas baby and I went to Ventura, Port Hueneme to be exact, with Yaya, and we had so much fun. That kid played on the beach for hours and hours and hours. My mom was like, he doesn't need a stroller. I'm like, no, he does not. He is a broody kid.
I don't think you even...
I have them, but we haven't needed one since he was about a year and a half. They're not very practical in Vegas. I'm going to be honest. When we do our Mirage farewell, because I want to take him to the volcano, I just wanted to go get my chip and all that other stuff. And so, then we might have a stroller, but even then he doesn't. It's just not practical on the strip. It's so weird. Caesars is a great example. It's to get to their pool, you have to go down 3 mini steps and then up 3 mini steps, and they have no elevators for that, and it's just fucking weird. So yeah, we went to the beach. We had a great time. He turns out he's a fish. He loves the beach. He loves the ocean, and here he comes, Dado.
So the beach was a good time.
Yeah, the beach was a good time. We pretty much just were in the ocean. It was cold. The tide was so strong. So I got to say, the tide was so strong one day, and it was super overcast and gloomy, but it was a perfect beach day still. It was only 62 degrees out there while you guys were sitting in 112 weather. I was sitting in 62-degree weather.
I would have been freezing my ass off.
I was running up and down the beach with him, so that's all the heat. But yeah, so it was so gross. So the waves would come up, and the tide waves, that the sideways ones would come back down, and there was thousands of sand crabs. You would see them pop up, and I mean, it was they would cover your whole foot. And I was like, little bugs, ew, ew, ew. And it was so gross, but Danger didn't care. He thought it was funny to touch him, and I was like, you would, you would. He's such a boy.
And then you get pinched.
Well, they're the sand crabs, so they don't have they're this big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But they just look like little cockroaches in the ocean, and there's thousands of them.
Gross.
Yeah, it was super gross. But we found some cool shells, and he tried to take a hermit crab home. Luckily, I checked the shell to make sure there wasn't one in there, and there was. So I was like, oh, gotta leave that bad boy. And then, yeah, we had a really good time. We had an Airbnb. It was beautiful. It was great. I felt very bougie, very rich.
Very Calethea.
Very Calethea. Yeah, the whole entire unit, because they have a upstairs apartment and a downstairs apartment, and it's overview of the beach. And the whole unit was $1.3 million, which sounds really cheap to me. For a beachfront property in California, I was like, that's something we can pretend to have one day. Not really, but I have goals. They're very big for something I have very little of. But all right, ready for the tea?
Oh man. So the summer sessions we decided are going to be our celebrity gossip shows.
Are old sippin' bitches.
Well, we're still sipping, so it's not really old sippin' bitch. It's just sippin' bitch reinvented.
So yeah, so we kind of miss our celebrity gossip talk. We used to do it all the time on KCOR, but now we're trying to stay Vegas focused, but we definitely need our moments, and there's so much to talk about. It's so hard not to. I mean, just the music. We have a very musical filled summer session, very musical. And of course, where should we start? No other than the wonderful, the beautiful, the crazy JoJo Siwa.
Okay, it's one thing. Listen, it is one thing to have a song out that you haven't written. It's to purchase a song for your album, from songwriters. That's why songwriters have publishing deals, so you can buy stuff. Artists can that don't normally write their songs can buy the songs. Okay, that's one thing. But like coming out and saying that you wrote a song when you didn't is another. But also saying that you changed your like appearance or you changed your image when really you're still walking around in sparkles the way that you did before.
Listen,
except you have like slightly more vulgar choreography, but then at the same time, like,
well, here's the thing. So on the Call Her Daddy podcast,
so bizarre. That was bizarre to watch. I couldn't even handle it. She wore this stupid hat. Like,
oh, I don't even watch them. I just listen. I can't stand the interviewer. She. I did an impression of her in California, and my cousin was like, "Yeah, that was spot on." So I was like, "Then that's why I don't like her." Anyways, no, she's an artist. She's not a singer. She's an artist. I don't know what the fuck that means. I had this conversation at my work. Yeah, she's an entertainer, not an artist. I don't know. We were having this discussion at my work. I'm confused. I think they're anyways. But yeah, I think because she came out with a song called Choose Your Fighter, right?
Yeah.
And it's not sang by her either.
No.
At all. The actual singer's named Emmeline. Yeah. And like, so do you remember on TikTok the sound that was like, I was 18 in a white dress and you told me I was your princess?
Yeah.
That's her. That's the same artist. So she actually didn't even know the song was sold to JoJo, which is kind of, her friends found out and then sent it to her. So she didn't know the song was sold to her, which that's why like record companies will kind of steal your songs and just sell them under your face, like under you, without like really permission. So she didn't even know JoJo bought it. So she didn't
get any of the rights, any of the royalties?
I think she's getting writing credits. I imagine she probably has vocal credits too, kind of like how Ashanti did J-Lo's thing.
Mm-hmm.
And stay tuned. And so stay tuned. So I think there's that. It's just really weird. I'm like, also being on stage drinking a gallon of tequila. I mean, a vodka.
I bet there was just water in there.
There has to be.
She would have died. So like, okay, so
like, she would have been so drunk she would have thrown up. Too.
Okay, so Britney Spears. Like, I tried to deny for years and years that she was lip syncing, but like, I'm a grown up now. She was lip syncing, but at least she tried. She wasn't good at it, but at least she tried. JoJo's not even trying.
Like, to be honest, most of these girls aren't even trying anymore. I'm like, girl, put your mic up to your face at least.
Like, and then she has just like half a microphone stick.
It's giving very Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, but it's not weird.
Well, I personally think
the comments. Oh my god, I was reading some of the TikTok comments and it was like, which mall was this at? And then
which mall was it? Is it LA Gay Pride?
And then like there was another comment. It was like, damn, I missed JoJo's performance at Build-A-Bear this time. Like, I was crying.
Well,
like,
it's really interesting because I gotta say,
the microphone was just a suggestion.
I gotta say, she's kind of playing this all right, though, if you think about it.
Because we're sitting here talking about it.
Nathan's talking about her.
Yeah.
She was on Fox News. Yeah, for doing her dumb shit.
JoJo went on Fox News.
No, she didn't go on Fox News. They were talking about her on Fox News. That means my dad knows who JoJo Siwa is. That's more than anything most of these people are getting right now. Like, what the actual fuck? It's kind of surprising because it's just like, I think she's doing, and that's the one thing I like keep on saying. Like, I think she's figured out that hate gets you a lot more attention than anything else. Like, being weird, putting her face on her car. She's done that before.
No, that's nothing new. And everybody's like, oh my god, blah blah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
she's again, and she's like, it's great promotion, it's free promotion. And you know what it is? Her car's a fucking tax write-off now.
Listen,
it's kind of genius.
Callie and I have our faces on a mug, right? And one day I said, I want my face on a beach towel. Mm-hmm. And so Callie got me one for Christmas.
Make dreams happen.
So, listen, if I could put my face on my car...
Just wait for your birthday. That's all I gotta say.
Like, what if we did a really cool, like, reality check promo, and I put that... I wrapped my car in that.
Then what could be a tax write-off?
Then it could be...
If we were making money.
Yeah.
Listen, all we need is 3,000 followers and 450 hours of video time, and then we can make some money.
Yeah.
Small, easy to obtain.
Yeah.
Easy, guys.
By next year.
Or if you guys want to go watch our reel 45 million times, we'd be golden. Like, it's weird. But yeah, no, so JoJo, she's just a mess. I think it's funny because, like, what were you doing? You know what, though? The bottle of Tito's on stage was absolutely a callback to her being drunk at Disney.
Yeah.
I'm like, the demon's back. But, like, I don't know. It's just wild. But yeah, no.
She also simulated, like, she, like, reached down her pants at one point.
Did she really? I saw quite a few. She has this one song that she did sing. Well, okay, I don't know about live, but she sang it in the audio.
She danced. There's one song she danced to.
Well, there's this one song she has coming out, and I was like, you know what? This ain't a bad bop. Someone's like, oh, this should be in Descendants, and I'm like, oh, well, okay, listen, it's JoJo Siwa. Like, I'm not expecting fucking Taylor Swift, Halsey shit coming out of her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm expecting JoJo Siwa.
She's still bubblegum pop. She's still bubblegum pop.
Well, she's queer pop, and apparently she invented it too. So,
I'm pretty sure.
Because fuck the '80s in general.
Yeah,
fuck the whole entire '80s.
Fuck Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, fuck like Cyndi Lauper. Fuck
David Bowie.
Bowie. I mean, just fuck all of them. Madonna. All those people. Gay pop never existed. Fucking Christ. It's okay, though. I mean, she'll learn. But then, you know what song I have enjoyed, though? A lot, is the Please, Please, Please by Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, my God. Okay, So, first of all, I heard Nonsense today at Forever 21. I went in to buy the Taylor Swift dress, the Taylor Swift VMA after party dress, which you can only get online. But I was like, I wonder. And then this is what I thought to myself. My first thought when I heard that song, I was like, I wonder what her outro is gonna be. She changes it.
That's so funny.
And I was like, wait, this is the radio. This is the radio. There's not
an outro. It's okay. I got locked in my own garage today because I don't. It's all right. Anyways, no, it's funny. She's the. I like it. Okay, I'm hit or miss on it. I'm 50-50. I like it.
I love it. Like she said, don't embarrass me, motherfucker.
Yeah, the deep. I was impressed with that vocal. I was like, oh, that is a fun little harmony.
She's so like classically beautiful.
Yeah, and she plays,
but also like a Bratz doll, but also.
No, she's got the vibe. She gets
She's
it.
Very Marilyn.
Yes. Whoever is like dressing her, helping her design her things, all that stuff, they know her vibe very well.
Yeah.
And they have absolutely hit the mark every time. I mean, her music videos even. Like, listen, I like this music video though. Because her boyfriend's in it, and he plays such a good weirdo.
Yeah.
He's like really good at it. And he's like so awkward. At first when I was like, ew, Sabrina, you're dating him. And the more I look at him, I'm like, I get it.
Well,
I get it.
See,
especially after the music video, I was like, oh, that was kind of sexy.
I'm going to have to like go back, like, because I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I can't get past that one scene in Saltburn. If you've seen Saltburn.
Which is funny because I would think the other things in Saltburn would have grossed you out more.
The whole movie grossed me out, but like that scene,
like the bathtub scene,
all of it. Actually, I didn't even get through the whole movie. I couldn't.
Did you get to the?
I saw the end because I got to Diane's house because Diane was watching it, and I got to her house and I watched.
Like, oh, that's how it ends. Minutes.
But like,
did you see the grave scene?
Where
he's at the grave?
No.
Okay.
You can tell me.
He fucks the grave in the mud, and that was all improv. It wasn't scripted.
Okay, so my point is,
the ground. That's how I was
after seeing what I saw in Saltburn.
Did you get to the bathtub scene?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I got to that scene where.
See, I haven't seen it. I just know all the bad parts.
Did you see the scene? The one that I was talking about earlier?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't gross me out as much as I thought it should. Listen, I'm the generation that watched Two Girls, One Cup at a very young age. So My brain's been rotten.
No, I was like, Sabrina, do you know where that mouth has been? Like,
has imaginary been? It's gross. Maybe that's what she's into.
Oh God. Anyway, so but I love it because like what she like bailed him out of jail and she was just
no, he's a bad guy. She's kind of a bad guy too. very mobster. Very like 80s, 70s. I would say more 80s. Like I loved her outfit. She had this like beautiful pink fluffy thing and I was like, if I was 20 with my sense of like, fuck it, who cares, 30-year-old confidence, I'd wear that.
It was very like Austin Powers, like
and
in the 70s, like in the 70s.
Yeah,
like where like Beyonce or what like was in it, or like Elizabeth Hurley.
I wouldn't even say that because it was just very like, oh, what do you think of when you watch like Casino
or Mobsters? Like Shaft?
I don't know if I saw that one
with Samuel L. Jackson. Shaft, but like
I don't know.
Oh, okay, but that's what like, it kind of reminded me of.
Yeah, no, honestly, it was just very like it made me think of like a bad like a book talk romance book, like one of those dark romances with the mafia, and then he like beats everyone up, and then you got to bail him out of jail, and like he's just hot. And I was like, no, he plays a good bad guy. He also has a very square head, which I think it's kind of funny how she's like, don't embarrass me, motherfucker, because obviously her and Olivia Rodrigo had a moment, and because of that she's like, don't embarrass me like the last guy did. But like homeboy during Saltburn was married. So and like had a baby.
That movie's not old. That movie was last year.
Like baby. So like I don't think they cheated or anything. I don't think it's an Ariana Grande situation, but it's kind of funny how it kind of is. I mean, it's not, but it's just like, don't embarrass me, motherfucker. It's like,
because then you don't want this to be all for nothing.
Like, I mean, it just kind of made me laugh. But yeah, no, I like her song. I just also think it's funny how 20-year-olds are just attracted to the drama, and it just seems like, Sabrina, the last one was so dramatic, and this one sounds a little dirty and dramatic too. He's got a baby. You know what
was so funny was watching Sabrina and him at Coachella with Taylor and Travis. Oh, and Taylor and Travis are like, it's so funny because they're both tall.
Yeah, they are really tall. And Sabrina, and you can tell Taylor didn't know what to do with herself. She's like, I don't think I've been in the pit this long.
Yeah, and then and then at one point, like he like lifted her up so that she could see.
Yeah,
but then you see like Sabrina, who like
is literally 5 foot nothing.
Yeah, her boyfriend's like a little bit taller. Like it was so funny, like the disconnect. Like
it's funny. Listen, you have your tall friends and you have your short friends.
It was just funny to see.
It's kind of cute.
I was like, oh, is that Sabrina's boyfriend back there? Oh, that's so cute. Okay.
Didn't recognize him. The camera was just getting the top of his head there.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. But once again, guys, this has been like a crazy music week. Eminem.
Oh man.
Released a song.
So excited for Eminem.
I have so much to say about this, and it's so
okay. I saw this video, and I made a TikTok about it. But it was like, raise your hand if Eminem's new single is the one thing that'll pull you away from the Tortured Poets Department. And I was like, me, because honestly, I was not. I was, and I thought about it. I still haven't, but I was like, It's weird that it was like that thought like crossed my mind. Like I was like, oh my god, I should really listen to Eminem's song because I am loving like the fact that he doesn't give a fuck. And and then as soon as I like thought that, like somebody made a TikTok and I was like, oh my god,
that's so funny.
But all the Gen Zers are like losing their shit over this.
They're actually not.
Well, there were some people that were like, because I did see like some TikToks that people were like, oh my god, and I was like,
but you know what's funny about that? What's funny about that is that all of them have very big following, and he even says, I made this song to get under your skin.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's part of the promotion because a lot of the Gen Zers are like, well, then it turned into let's make fun of the Gen X millennials and all that other stuff, and let's try to make them think like hate bait.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are hate baiting too. They don't even actually believe it. They're just trying to get under your skin because they think it's funny. And then it's like this whole cycle. I watch this whole thing. They're like, we know who Eminem is. We're not that fucking dumb. You raised us.
Yeah. Like, that's true. That's true.
That's why it's so funny. But I absolutely think my favorite line is when he goes after his kids and they're like, what?
Oh yeah.
It was so cute.
Haley Jade's like listening to that song and she's like,
wait, what about me? No, I think it's funny because like even the music video, I enjoyed that he didn't bring like new young girls. I'm glad he brought even back like the older women, and he was like, no, just be who you like, just be the older women, and we all got old. Like, come on, and I don't know.
And it was just like, it was so cool because it was like Houdini, but it, like the song's called Houdini, but he like brought back like Slim Shady, and there was something about like a disappearing act, and we don't know if he's gonna have like a whole album or if this was just like a one-off. And then he performed in Detroit, and it was huge. And
I feel like it's a one-off. I mean, honestly, I feel like maybe an album's coming, but I think it's gonna be.
If an album's coming, I'm gonna get it. Like
to me, it sounded like he was like, "Let's go have fun in the studio."
Yeah,
because I'm like inspired to do something silly again. I mean, do you remember this? What was it? My Band, I think it was called, with D12. Yes. Oh my god, I was obsessed with that song. That song was so fucking funny.
Oh man.
And like
My Band. What was it?
Yeah.
How's that song go?
These chicks don't even know the name of my band. Oh, cause they're all on me like they want to hold hands. Jesus Christ!
Oh my god!
I used to. You remember
some like, shadiest? I'm the real shady.
the little dolls. I used to like make these like little doll things online. I'd listen to that song and just like make these like fake little dolls online for hours at a time because like I don't know, I couldn't play Sims or something. I don't know, but it's just funny that that's what I remember of that song. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. The music video was great. I thought it was so well thought out. Yeah. Like it seems like everyone's really trying to like step up their social media game or like their video game and stuff because they're like, oh shit.
But I also kind of feel like after like the Tom Brady roast, like everybody's sense of humor is starting to kind of go back to normal. Like Eminem was always going to be Eminem, but I feel like he also was like,
but you know,
he's like, cancel me, I don't give a fuck because it's not gonna work.
Like think about like the main generation that canceled people, and it would be the older Gen Z and the younger millennials. And so it's like, well, they're growing up too, and so it's kind of funny to see because I will say like Gen Alpha and like Gen Z, I love Gen Z with all my heart. I think they're the best. I mean, they're gonna fucking take over this world. It's gonna be so good. Oh, just you wait. They're sassy, and it's exactly what we need. They're gonna take over the world. They have no time for nobody's bullshit. They're like, we're gonna get our money back. You millennials, you letting the boomers have 65% of the wealth. How dare you? Let me get my money back. And they will. I'm telling you right now. They're just gonna come up and demand it. It's gonna be wild. Anyways, but no, it's just kind of funny. Like it's funny that he makes fun of his kids. It's funny that he makes fun of his cat. Like, I mean, people were like, oh my god, it's transphobic. But honestly, it's like, I don't know. I really don't think it's that deep because he's like, I just said that to piss you off.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh, he's baiting you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so he doesn't believe that either. Maybe he does believe it. I don't know. But I think people are getting a sense of humor back again.
Yeah.
I think people are calming down about it. And I think it's just like, oh, I have the funniest story to tell you. So I'm teaching in-person lessons on Sunday again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to my new student, and I was talking to him about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. Now, I don't know. Drake's got a BBL. That's all I took from it. And so that's all I took from it, and I strongly believe it. I've never seen Drake's butt. I've seen his penis, but I've never seen his butt, and I'm just going to go with it. But I was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, have you heard the new Eminem song? And he gives me this look. I was like, is Eminem for old people? And he goes, yeah, kind of. I was like, right on. Thanks. And it was kind of funny. But I kind of agree with the Gen Zers. I thought he could have gone harder. Like, it really wasn't that big. Like, it wasn't really, like, he has that one line in there that's super controversial, but he's like, I fucked up. I was an addict. I got addicted to pills, and now I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of a fine. He just had to cause a scene. Like, he just had to say that one thing. But My favorite person, Halsey, released a song, and it was kind of like a week before. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna release some music," and we're like, "Oh, okay, cool, I'm excited." So Halsey came out with a song called "The End," and holy shit, guys, holy shit, bitch has gone through it right now. So this song, I'll get into the music video. So, she came out and she said she has lupus SLE, which I think is what Selena has. And then she has T cell lymphoproliferative disorder, which causes leukemia. Now, she tagged leukemia in the lupus. I think she had leukemia because in the message she said, "Hey, I have lupus and this T cell lympho thing, and I had to do chemotherapy," which is also what they do for lupus. Don't know if you know that, but they do that for lupus. And but she said, my medications, I'm being managed properly and I'm in remission. So the remission part makes me think that, or she's like, I'm being managed or in remission. So it makes me think she had cancer, because when I was looking it up today, just because you have this T cell lympho whatever does not mean it's going to turn cancerous, but it is an immune attack that you have to do chemo for regardless. Yeah. So she had to do chemo. She did not tell anybody. We knew she had an autoimmune disease. Yeah. But we didn't know which one, which was weird because originally she was diagnosed with the one that my mom has, which I'm really familiar with. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe she has it. And then she was like, oh, I have 10 other disorders. I'm like, I think that means they haven't found out what you have yet. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that means they don't know what you have yet. Instead of, it's hard for me to believe you have 12,000 things wrong with you.
So when I was first diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, they actually diagnosed me with lupus.
Mm-hmm. Well, because when they see autoimmune anything, they're like, oh, it's lupus. Yeah. And like even my mom, they were like, oh, it's lupus. And she's like, I only have one symptom.
Yeah. Like, no. And they put me on steroids, and it was I think I was on it for like maybe like a week before my mom was like, no, this isn't right. Like, we're going to go back to the doctor. And I was like, I don't like this. I don't want to gain all this weight.
Yeah. Especially with steroids.
And so, cause I know like Selena Gomez, like, she has lupus, and that's where all her weight is coming from, is like her medication for it. So yeah, like when I first got diagnosed, it was very much that way. It was like JRA, it was lupus, and it was JRA, then it was like full on rheumatoid. So I went through like a couple of different things before they landed on what I have.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's like crazy about autoimmune disease. It's like you have certain markers. My mom went undiagnosed with hers because at the time Sjogren's was not a common one that they tested for. So she went like 15 years without a diagnosis. And then she was watching it used to be called strange diagnosis, and it's like people that didn't get diagnosed with it a lot. And Sjogren's was on there. And so it was like, my mom's like, yeah, like, for her autoimmune disease, you're just really dry. So like her esophagus will shut and stick together. And like, so you can't breathe, obviously. But like, so like, it's just really crazy. So when she was diagnosed, like I knew she was being diagnosed. I also saw that she had like, almost like a diabetes, like a monitor that you would put on for insulin and stuff. And I was like, oh, I wonder why she has that. I honestly thought she was on Ozempic because she got so skinny. Yeah. And at first I thought her boobie implants, because she had implants for a while, I thought her boobie implants were making her sick.
That can happen.
And it can. And so I was like, oh shit, her boobs made her sick. Also, having boobs, getting pregnant, and then all of that can cause, pregnancy can cause your autoimmune disease to flare up too. So I was like, oh my God, she's on Ozempic, like, and then it turns out she's on chemo. So sorry, Halsey, I owe you an apology. I wasn't judging you. I was just like, you're skinny, gain weight. I'm worried about you. Yeah. And now I know why. But so the song had a bunch of little Easter eggs. So she put out a lyric video that was her diary, and she put it in quotes. Now, Halsey is a very like coded person. She always has been. Each album had their own website, and they had like little entries on them where
we love artists. I love artists that do that. Yeah, because then you join in on the fun and you feel like you're part of the you're part of the experience. And, and then when we call it, in the Swiftie world, we call it clowning. And when we end up being right, it's like when like Taylor released 1989, like we were so excited because we knew, and we all guessed right, and that was such a cool thing. So like watching like other artists like start like do that, and like you said, like Halsey's been doing it,
but
Taylor's been doing it, and Taylor's been doing it since 2006, like from like beginning. So but you feel like you're in on the joke.
Yeah. Well, I will say like Halsey, so they've always had websites, like Badlands had a website, and then this one, she has another website for this album. It's a bunch of different stickers. It's very 70s coded. I mean, literally, it's like 1973, which I'm like, oh, okay. So that'll be interesting. I think she's gonna get a lot of inspiration from like Stevie Nicks and like a lot of
Is that a thing now?
For what? Stevie Nicks?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Stevie Nicks has proven herself for a long time now.
Yeah, no, I know, but like Tortured Poets, like when you open the vinyl to Tortured Poets, there's literally a poem in there written by Stevie Nicks.
Well, Stevie Nicks is an amazing
and
writer,
then Clara Bow was like...
Yeah. Well, I feel like Stevie Nicks is like, no one gives her poetry credits. Like, she's a phenomenal songwriter.
Yeah.
I mean, phenomenal. Her and like, I feel like Dolly, it's kind of like,
to
me,
Dolly
like
Parton.
Everyone's recognizing like how amazing Dolly Parton was for her songwriting, and that's what they're doing with Stevie Nicks now. Yeah. But also you have to think about what generation is coming out of the Stevie Nicks generation.
Yeah.
And those kids are now old enough to have a social media platform and grew up on Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
You know, so it's interesting to see the turnaround. But yeah, so I think it's going to be very encoded. But these are my favorite Easter eggs that I saw in the lyric video, because it's like a scrapbook page, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like it looks like she put together a scrapbook. So in the lyric, it says, doctor pulls out a bag of tricks and lays it on me. And then there's a 2 of pentacles and tarot cards, which is upright, which represents that you're balancing everything out well. So, like, to me, she's like, I was balancing everything out really well. Like, they kept on telling me I had a new illness, and I just took it on. And then there's a bunch of, like, word search puzzles, but the words are, like, spiral down the drain. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's, like, very, like, coded to what she's singing at the time. An interesting thing that I saw in it was, because the lyric was, I ran to the clinic to talk to the, like, man behind the white coat or whatever. Yeah. But the words were addiction and help. And I was like, that's really interesting that addiction pops up.
Yeah.
Which she also, in the same lyrics, says, I finally found a lover much better for my liver, which makes me think that we had some alcohol problems. Which, when you don't feel good, you want to drink something to loosen you up a little bit too. So I don't doubt. I just thought that was an interesting thing.
I think that's one of those things that's true for all of us.
Yeah. Well, actually, the lyric is, I finally found a lover who's much better for my liver, so I can finally recover.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And then when she's talking about finding a new lover, it has this little picture of these 2, like, little cute guys kissing, or cute, like, little chubby things kissing, and it says good manners.
The cherubs.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, the good manners. Okay. And then when she says finally recover, there's also a sticker that says good for 30, and she just turned 30.
Oh.
Because she just turned 30 and she just finished her chemo, and she's saying she's feeling better than she has in a long time. So she's like, I'm good for 30.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was a nice little thing. And then, like I said, the 1973 vibe, very 70s, like, encoded. Like, even where she took photos, it was just like all the appliances and all that other stuff. My one that kind of like breaks my heart, obviously, is the lyric is, could you pick me up at 8 because my treatment starts today. And when it says, can you pick me up at 8, it's on a calendar on Wednesday. Like, it's on Wednesday. And I was like, oh, she started her treatment on a Wednesday. Like, so there's like a lot of little things that she told us but didn't.
Do you think like that like the 70s are kind of coming back though?
Yeah.
Because like if you look at like, even once again, like if you look at like Taylor's Anti-Hero video, that whole video was very 1970s
Well, it's definitely
coded.
coming in, because this is going to sound awful. But, like, yeah, it's just, when, like, every generation kind of looks back a little bit, right? Like, a few years back. So, like, the fashion trends come back again and all that other stuff. So, we're definitely, like I said, think about the generation that grew up listening to the 70s music and like 80s music and who their children are now and how old they are.
Yeah.
So it's definitely coming back. I'm not mad at it.
Right.
Because like I said, I saw this, it would be a bad part of town, but I saw the 70s inspired house and I was like, I'm sold.
Yeah.
It's great. And it's only $30,000 more than the one I'm in now. The guy was like, you only need $12,000 down. I'm like, only. Yeah. But that's all right. But speaking about death, and I'm so glad Halsey didn't die because I'm not going to lie, I listened to the song bawling my eyes out on the beach for hours. It just hit too close to home.
Yeah.
The cancer thing hit really close to home. And I'm like, oh, I could not imagine having a baby that's not even a year old yet. And you find out you have to do chemotherapy and or found out you have cancer.
Yeah.
I think I would, I don't know what I would do. That I couldn't, even now, like, no, he needs me. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, I need my mom. Like, you think you're invincible. And it's just, it's such a scary, scary thing. And I'm just glad she's here. I'm glad she's not, like, dead.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
like J-Lo's career?
J-Lo's career and tour.
R.I.P.
But this is
bitch. Did you really think you were gonna tour after that dumbass movie?
Well, like, I just think it's interesting that she has this team that's been with her for 20 years, and they do such old people things. It's like I can tell they were in this career 20 years ago. Like, how did you see the paparazzi photos
of her and Ben?
Yeah.
Were they? I feel like they were staged.
So my god! It's like you dress up to the 9 in LA when you go shopping, and there's 9,000 paparazzis just happen to be there, and then Benny's got to go get some coffee and pick you up. Get fucked. I was like, what are you doing? This is so obvious.
She was like, I just need to, like, I'm heartbroken and I have to spend time with my family or whatnot. No.
I want to spend the summer with my kids. Bitch, the summer was always planned. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you've been doing this for too long. Now, doesn't she have a trans child?
Does she? I don't know. I don't care about J-Lo. I
don't know. I feel like one of the twins.
Like this movie, the movie was really bad. The music.
Apparently, Benny also said, "Do not fund this," and she said, "Honey, you don't know what you're talking about. You've never done a movie in your life, and or paid for movies, or directed movies, or
well, that's smart. You don't pay for your own movies
because it's gonna." He's like, it's gonna be guaranteed. Like
the dude that decided to fund like the Blair Witch Project, like the very first one. He like low budget. That movie cost $17,000 to make, and it grossed like over $1 billion.
Well,
like
that's
but
different.
17,000 is different than $20 million.
Yeah, can you imagine? First of all, having that money. Second of all, wanting to spend that much money on a project, I could not imagine. I would not be surprised if she did get a lot of that back because a lot of people hate watched.
Yeah, we did,
but they're not going to the concert. There was no way they were going to the concert ever. Could you imagine going to a J-Lo concert? I thought they canceled her residency. Like, I was like, you tour? People want to see you. They don't.
No, she had her residency the same time Britney did. Okay, so here's the thing with that residency, and I've always said this. So, Britney had first dibs on dates because she already had been there 2 years. So, whatever Britney didn't want, J-Lo got. And watching the video footage from J-Lo's set, I was like,
I recognize that.
Why is that Britney's onesie? Why is that her leotard? Why does that look like it came from Britney's set? Like,
it probably did.
I feel like she raided Brit's wardrobe.
Well, I feel like she didn't have a budget. And those wardrobes were Planet Hollywood's to begin with.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, this is what you have to choose from. This is your budget. What do you want?
It's weird.
It is weird. I think it's odd when, like... Listen, I think it's odd when even housewives do that shit. Like, two housewives are from
the other thing, too, is J-Lo's not a good person. I think that had a lot to do with it. Because we constantly hear that, like, in Vegas, we constantly hear when Ben Affleck's in town and he's at that blackjack table, he'll tip, like, a couple $100.
Yeah.
J-Lo will walk by and take it away, like oh no you don't, and like take it away, like.
Well, the thing I've seen stories too, like this is where I think it gets really tricky, because like Ben absolutely has some sort of addiction, so we don't know if he's just like giving away too much money, and she's like, this wasn't what we agreed upon, because you always see them like chit chatting and stuff. I love the lip readers and stuff, but like it's so funny to me because she absolutely has to keep him on such a tight leash. She's exhausted.
I mean, I understand that, but like, I understand that part. But
you don't have to be an asshole about it. Like, give them the tip and be like, okay, we're done.
It's on the table.
Yeah.
That you cannot take that away. Like she's
she's just really short with people. I think she's one of those women, like, you know, the women that like just bark out orders and just get really high. I'm hoping
this like humbles her down.
Oh no.
I'm sure it won't.
She's narcissistic. There's nothing that humbles them. It's kind of like I can't really say his name.
He who shall not be named?
No. He lives in Lake Las Vegas.
Oh.
It's like one of those people where it's like guy. It doesn't matter how low you get, you're always on top.
God, his videos are so cringe.
It really is bad.
I can't. I'm like this. Like
I found his friends page and it's as bad. I'm like, wow, there's more than one of you.
Can't.
No, it's so funny. But yeah, I just think it's funny. And like the breakup rumors, I think it's very ironic that the breakup rumors and the paparazzi video and the tour cancellation come all at once.
Yeah.
So it makes me think like even the rumors are fake. Like, let's do a breakup so it looks like there's a reason for her to quit her tour or to cancel her tour.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's marriage problems, there's kid problems. Sales. Like,
Justin Timberlake had poor ticket sales, and what did he do? He added 6 more dates.
You know what? I don't understand him either. These people are like, I don't understand.
His show here was on house seats.
Listen, I don't understand how these people, like even Britney Spears' family and how they deal with like crisis situations and stuff. It makes no sense. Like, you don't live in the magazine days anywhere. The information gets out to us.
Yeah.
Everyone's willing to spill the fucking beans.
Yeah.
Like, that's why, like, I just don't understand. Like, J-Lo, we saw that video of you at the Met Gala being snarky as hell.
Yes and no. I mean, she was, but also she was trying to get to where she was going, I guess. Like, she was like,
I'm sorry, you didn't know you were going to be asked that question 9,000 times?
First of all, you're at the Met Gala, so you're always going to be asked that question. Like, that's the whole point.
Also, like, I don't know. Like, it's just one of those things, like, everyone else is being nice.
Listen, you just lost $20 million on a dumbass movie. Nobody likes you. Your tour is canceled.
I wonder how the people feel about being in that movie now. Like, oh, that was funny. Or maybe, because listen.
No, it'll be more like Anna Kendrick when she was in Twilight, but like 10 years after Twilight, she like made this tweet and it's so iconic. She was like, oh fuck, that's right, I was in Twilight.
Listen, I forgot she was in Twilight too. I was like, oh yeah, she was in that movie.
She was in all of them, but
like, she was like her thing.
I was in Twilight. Like,
God, that movie.
You know?
This is such a side tangent. I went down memory lane with like, because I was like, oh, when did I really realize I enjoy a good like rom-com or like a book, right? And I was like, oh, Twilight.
Yeah.
Like Twilight solidified it. Like, that's what I learned. I was like, oh, I like romances. But now I read Twilight or like listen to Twilight or watch Twilight and I'm like, this shit is dumb as fuck.
I just hate Kristen Stewart. I think she's like the worst actress. She was terrible in Twilight. I could have done better.
Listen, I don't even know what they wanted from her. I don't even know what they wanted from Bella. Here's my problem. When I read books, I ignore every character detail. It's me. I'm in the book. It's just me. And then when I get a description of someone I don't like, I'm like, I'm going to change that. And I do. And then they're like, oh, her long hair. And I'm like, she doesn't have long. Oh, she does have long hair. My bad. So, like, it doesn't help that, like, when people are like, I'm sorry, even when I read that Edward sparkled in the sun, I was like, this is some Mormon shit.
Yeah,
I even knew that. I was like, this is some Mormon shit.
Like, I am on the Buffy the Vampire Slayer generation. Vampires don't sparkle. they like their faces change. Listen. Or they burn in the sunlight. Like
fucking sparkling.
Even Vampire Diaries, they have a magic ring to keep them from burning in flames in the sun. But they didn't have that.
It's so funny how just like off the wall it is. But it's related. Like, 50 Shades of Grey was written because of Twilight. It's the same universe.
What?
Yes. 50 Shades of Grey is like a fan fiction based off of Twilight. Christian Grey is Edward. Anastasia is Bella.
Well, that I see.
Uh-huh. And the possessiveness is the same. All of it. It is the same universe. I'll have to send you the videos and stuff. It's like literally there's like this whole, and the author like yeah,
I'm gonna watch that later, and then I'll get a text from Brandon when he's done with Zombie, and he'll be like, "What you doing, babe?" I don't know. I'm just sitting here rewatching 50 Shades as Twilight.
You're like, this is Twilight for adults. Holy shit, he does watch her sleep and shit. Wow. And like, yeah, no, it's wild. It's so funny. Well, there was also this. Oh, I wish I knew what it was. You're really into it. I feel like it's on Netflix.
Lucifer?
No. It's like a romance series. I feel like there's like 3 of them now. Anyways, it was a book.
After.
Yes.
The After series.
That was a fan fiction on Wattpad. I love fan fictions too.
I love a good fan series. Is so good. But I feel like I lived it, so
I've never read it because I'm very niche on what I like. If you're poor, I don't want to read it.
I definitely lived it because the love interest, because they, because the guy was always like drunk all the time, and she was constantly having to like pick him up and take care of him, and this like I fucking lived it for 6 years.
Jesus Christ, no thank you.
So I get it.
That's funny.
I think that's why I like it.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of one of those like sick intentions, like, oh, I relate to this too much.
Yeah.
That's why I love watching like bad Christian movies, because I'm like, oh, I remember when I was told all this. Now I can laugh at how awful it is. Well, sometimes it makes me mad. but I mean, craziness. I mean, we're going to a basketball game now.
Speaking of, okay, so like, listen. Speaking of dramas and
yeah, no shit.
The WNBA is like, so apparently it's always been this way.
Oh.
I just
no one's paid attention until now,
but nobody's actually paid attention
fucked up
until now, and it's like Caitlin Clark is a big deal, and Caitlin Clark is a big part of it, but also like you have Kate Martin and Cameron Brink, and Angel Reese, and it's just like this entire like draft class. Ticket sales are more expensive with certain teams.
Huh.
Like, yeah, if the Connecticut Sun played what other team? Like, and if any other game that's not LA Sparks, Indiana Fever, Chicago Sun, or the Las Vegas Aces.
Interesting.
The other 8 teams that play against each other, tickets are like $20.
Damn.
But if you're watching a game that's against any one of those 4,
how much?
So our tickets were $120 each.
Oh, bitch!
We're at T-Mobile, and we have.
I'm gonna buy lots of cocktails.
No, well, we might get to pregame in a club seat, so we'll see. But
that would be fucking fantastic.
But like, it was so funny because I was at dinner with my uncles too one night, and I'm like, I can't believe you guys aren't at the game, and they're like, well, they had the audacity to charge $80 for a WNBA, and I was like, yeah, but like Kate Martin,
motherfucker, women are worth it too. It's just taking us a while.
Yeah, well, the thing is like, okay, so Cameron Brink, tall, beautiful, like supermodel, like blonde. Oh my god, she is just like. She's so good. Like, she's like Shaq, as far as like rebounds and shit. Like,
really?
She's fucking incredible.
Interesting.
And then like Kate Martin was the one. Kate Martin and Caitlin Clark were like 2 peas in a pod with the Iowa State for Iowa State, right? So, Caitlin Clark would be like she like on point as far as like the plays, and Kate Martin would be the one that like what they called her the glue because she kept all the plays together.
Okay.
Right. So she was Caitlin Clark's right hand man. So we have her on the aces, and then So I can't wait to hold up my little sign that says here for Queen Swifty and Money Martin. So because we're 12 rows from the court, so we have good seats. And then like, but Angel Reese, she's like, well, in like 20 years or 50 years or whatever, you guys are gonna also remember like it wasn't just one person. I was there too, and it's like,
oh girl, you're just having FOMO. It's okay. Yeah, and they're like mad at her for being white.
Yeah, they're for being white and like a pretty white girl, like she
and like doing her job, which is like she's just playing basketball.
It's all fucking talent. So it's all talent. She's talented. She has talent.
Also, like, not
what are you gonna say, Cam?
What
are you like, Cameron Brink again? Tall, beautiful, supermodel, like esque white blonde chick. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, and it's just weird too because wasn't she pushed down on the court?
The hazing. The fouls, everything is just fucking crazy. Like, I know that, like, was it Diana Taurasi? I think it was that, like they were playing against Chicago, the Chicago Sun, I think, or no, Chicago Sun, the Chicago Sky. And Angel was coming down for a rebound, and like they like grabbed her throat and threw her down.
Yeah,
and then Caitlin was like standing there, like it was like the end of a play, like they had like the other team had just like Chicago Sky had just scored, and so they were just doing an inbound play, and Chennedy Carter fucking goes up and body checks her onto the ground, and then she gets a technical foul. That's it. It wasn't even flagrant. Like, it was just a fucking technical foul.
And then she's not apologetic for it at all.
No, but then what's messed up is that Angel Reese got off the bench and started cheering. And, like...
Why?
And then, so Caitlin shoots a technical, makes it.
Yeah.
And then the Fever win by 1. Karma's a bitch. Like, literally, that was like... Yeah, but it was instant karma.
I mean, listen, that's just so wild. Like, I just don't even, like, I don't understand. Like, I don't even, she's just doing her job.
I've never seen, oh man. And then, like, oh god, like the last game, like, they, Caitlin was like being like double teamed, and she still like was at the logo and just was like, all right, fine, fuck you. And then just scored, from the logo. It was awesome. But no, like, so then, okay, so after Chennedy Carter, like, had that, like, that flagrant foul, or that technical foul, there was so much heat from it that the next day, it was upgraded to a flagrant.
Oh.
Like, I was like, I didn't even know they could do that.
I mean, so listen, it's just like, it's too much. Like, it's like,
after you have like a certain amount, I think you get like fined.
Yeah.
So like, it's just, there's a lot of hazing going on, and I get it. Like, yeah, let's fuck with the rookies, but now it's at a point where like,
oh, they
like,
don't give a fuck.
Chennedy,
so weird.
Chennedy literally walked up to Caitlin and said, "Yo, bitch," and it's clear as day. You see it on camera.
I'm kind of like, okay, why is there so much hazing? Is there normally this much hazing?
I don't know.
And now is it just popular because people are watching now for the first time? We're actually watching this hazing happen, and we're like, this is awful. What are you guys doing to each other? What do you, like, as women, it's so like, you're in an industry that literally does not care about women's sports. You're finally getting on TV, and you're gonna not support each other.
Yeah.
Or is that...
Like, nobody's watched the WNBA since Lisa Leslie and Cheryl Swoops, and you're going to complain?
I kind of at the same time go, like, oh, is a little bit of this, like... At first I was like, oh, like, maybe this hate is just kind of, like, one of those, like hate baiting, because it works every single time, right?
Yeah.
But then the physical, like, that girl was thrown to the ground.
Yeah. No, and then the press conference afterwards, they were like, what did you say to Caitlin Clark? Even though we all saw her say, yo, bitch. She's like, I didn't say anything to Caitlin Clark. And she's like, I'm not going to talk about Caitlin Clark. And then her coach just shuts her down.
And it's like, if you didn't do any of that, you wouldn't have to talk about her.
Yeah.
It's because you attacked somebody and people are
like,
confused.
that was a full-blown attack. Like,
I mean, truly, if I was in public, would have been able to be like, he assaulted me. Like, or they assaulted me. That is so weird. I don't know. It just seems like it's such a weird hill to die on.
It's become, like, this, like, soap opera. Now, I know, like, the NBA has their storylines, too, but this is, like, WWE.
Yeah, it's weird. It's
like,
too much.
And I
think
it's almost getting to a point where, like, if they don't fucking chill with this shit, then the WNBA is going to be their own undoing. If they don't do anything about this, like, yes, basketball, as someone who played half her life, like, literally played half my life, I've never been thrown to the ground or body checked, or, like, nobody's ever put their like, grab me by the throat and slam me into the ground. Well, like, nobody's ever done that.
You don't see the men do that. And, like, boys are too dramatic. They love that shit. So, like, they have their temper tantrums and they like to beat each other up. And you don't even see them do that.
No.
Like, it is so weird. And, like, people are mad.
Actually, there's one NBA player that's been fined and nearly suspended from the league altogether.
I mean, it's just too much.
Because he does that kind of shit, but...
I don't know. I mean, you literally have LeBron James that's like, you push him and he's like, oh,
yeah, because he's trying to act to draw that foul. But it's like, Caitlin's got to, like, Caitlin, I know, is
a spot to be in because she's
Caitlin's got to chill too, because, like, they foul her and she looks at the refs like, what the fuck? Like, you're not in college anymore. Like, they're gonna let a few things go.
Honestly, it sounds like they're just trying to make her quit. And it's really sad because she has a lot of talent. And, like, it's almost like the insecurities are showing.
They had to move. Okay, so the Aces play at Michelob Ultra Arena.
Mm-hmm.
That seats about 10,000 people.
Okay.
July 2nd, the game is at T-Mobile. It's sold out.
Jesus Christ.
So, that's what? 40,000 seats.
That's insane.
Yeah, sold out. And like, there are other games that, like, they had to move. Not just in Vegas, but the rest of the season.
I think it's interesting because it's like, it definitely is drawing in a crowd. But I don't know. It's just weird. I'm
Ashton Kutcher was at her games. Like,
that's insane.
Ashton and Mila Kunis and their kids all went to the games.
I kind of wonder how that feels for her. Like, oh shit, everyone's like got my back and everyone's like supporting me, and
except her own teammates.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, I mean, she's got a couple people on the team that are like looking out for her, but like everyone else are just like there's two other people on the team that only pass to each other and refuse to pass to Caitlin. And then the only time they let Caitlin shoot the ball, the only time Caitlin ever gets a chance to shoot the ball is when she brings the ball up.
Interesting.
And then she has, like, all these assists, though, and makes these really big plays. She made a really big play the other day. It was fucking... I've never seen anything like it.
I think it's funny how much, like...
Like, they're still, like, 1-9, but they're in the game now. They're not getting... They're not getting crushed.
Well, half of me just thinks, like, oh, they're just not used to all this attention. And they're just, like, literally just doing what they always do.
And not thinking that we're all watching.
And now we're all watching, so it's like, oh, shit.
But in the world of social media, too, again, like, they don't know. Like, they don't realize that we see everything.
Well, it's
you
like
don't think,
they do, but no one's cared until now. So it's like, because now they care. It's interesting, too, because, like I said, you would think that the women would... I mean, obviously, there has to be a level of, like, rival teams and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to get... Even that draws, like, whatever. But, like, to purposely harm somebody is where you lose me.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's and they're, and, like, oh, yeah, okay, here's a technical foul. And then, like, Angel Reese was cited a technical foul because something was called, and Angel looked at the ref, and she goes, that's bullshit. And they called a technical and ejected her.
Oh, shit.
And then the next day, they, like... called back that technical. Like, oh, never mind, it wasn't that bad. Like, wait, but the damage is done.
Once again, the man had a temper tantrum. I don't know. It's a wild world. Sports are so weird. I mean, music is like, it's so funny because it's like, it's so similar to like music, like the drama wise, like, you know, the hate and like whatever. But it's interesting because you would think, like I keep on saying, you think they would support each other, especially like you're the Vegas Aces and you did a really good job last season.
We're 2-time national champions.
Yeah, like you did such an amazing job last year and the year before that, and like you're bringing on someone who's incredible to your team, and you're mad that I don't know.
Well, I don't think I've never seen like the Aces really come for Caitlyn. Really, like they're very like. You know what I thought was really funny is I heard this story the other yesterday, or saw a video of it. Caitlin Clark, when she played for Iowa, she like shot from like the logo, right? So there was a spot on the court that she like scored from, and she like broke some kind of record or whatever. So they put her number, like they put Clark 22, but she hadn't even graduated yet.
Oh shit!
So she's playing on this court
with her name and
number on it, right? So it's like
the pressure to keep that.
So
going.
come talk to me, like come talk shit to me. And I'm like, you ever? So they were like, yeah, if I'm Caitlin Clark and you're gonna come up and talk shit to me, this is what I'm gonna do.
I think you dropped something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. It's gone.
Yeah.
Listen, I just think it's like, it's so weird. Also, could you imagine the pressure? It's like, oh shit, I gotta keep this up.
Yeah.
Like dribbling.
But she's very like, she doesn't have social media. She turned off all. She's like, I don't have social media. I don't have.
Everyone's being so fucking mean to her. So I wouldn't be surprised. She thinks
just blocks everything out. She's very humble. She's like, I just go to work every day. That's it.
That poor girl. Well, we're gonna see you.
July 2nd, 3 weeks. I have to order our shirts. So,
all right. Well,
that was our summer session.
Oh my goodness. Well, that was a good summer session. We had a lot of fun. I liked the misters. It was nice and cooling. And yeah, I think as Nathan unlocks the door to make sure the cat's here too. But yeah, that was a good summer session. It was a lot of fun, and we're gonna do it again. We got more summer. I like the vibe. We look much better in this one too.
Yeah.
You can actually see us
this time.
All right, guys. Well, that was our episode. We will see you next time.
Bye.